Alright, so today we're going to look at the Ricoh GR3, do a little autofocus test for you because I got people asking about the autofocus. Alright, so here's the shortcut menu. I like to press this button. You'll get a drop down of different autofocus points. First we're going to try off the auto area AF. This is basically full auto. The camera is just going to choose what it's going to focus on. This is really not the setting you should be using if you're serious about your photography. Let's just get out of this setting because it's pretty useless. Here's the select AF point. This is what I use. Along with the touchscreen in the back, I can just tap where I want it to focus, half press the shutter, and it will focus where the point is. This is basically what I'm using almost 95% of the time when I'm using the Ricoh GR III. And here you can see it's focusing pretty well. From the back to the mid to the front, locks on pretty well. The lighting condition here is pretty ideal. The light source coming in behind me, everything's pretty contrasty, so the focusing's it's just super snappy. It's super quick and not having any trouble. All right, let's look at the next one. Here's pinpoint AF. It's pretty similar to the one before, but now the focus point is a lot smaller. This is really good for just locking on to detail, or if you're really specific on what you want to focus on, this is perfect for that. Again, it's pretty snappy as long as you're focusing on an area that's pretty contrasty. You'll see it's hunting a bit right there. There you go, that's better. If you're focusing on an area that's a little less contrasty, it's going to hunt. You can see it adjust and hunt right there. Back to the front, to the back, to the mid. Real quick, no hunting. Oh, a little hunting there. Alright, let's check out the next one, tracking AF. This one's new to the GR3. This here, you got a crosshair. You can kind of pull it around the screen, select what you want to track, half press the shutter, and once it turns yellow, it means it's got a track on there. And you can move the camera, and the focus point's not going to move. It's going to stick onto it the best it can. There it is, not bad. When it turns white, that means it's kind of lost its focus a bit, but it's just going to stay where you kind of in that general area of what you press. Here we go. It's pretty good. I don't have any moving subjects to test this on right now, but just moving the camera, you can see it does a good job of locking onto targets as long as you're in ideal conditions. Okay, let's move on to continuous AF. So the continuous AF here, you half press the shutter, and then now when you recompose, whatever is in that point is gonna automatically focus without you having to half press the shutter again. So my fingers just half press on that shutter, and I'm just rearranging right now. You can see the camera just readjust focus. Take a shot there, it looks good. Here it does a pretty good job. Again, the focusing conditions is pretty good for this camera, so it's pretty quick. So again, using the touch screen, you can choose which point you want. Alright, so let's take a look at a more challenging situation here with a backlit scenario. Select AF here. I'm going to test the point selection. Alright, right off the bat, does pretty well. It hunted at first, but it's going to find the focus. Let's just focus on second plant. Got it. Touch to that plant. Back's good. Back to that one. Good. Pretty quick. Again, this scene is, there's still enough contrast, I believe, that the single point autofocus is not having too much trouble. But I do notice that it does hunt just a split second before it locks on in the backlit scenario. See right there, you got it. Right there, it just locks on, locks on, locks on. Right there, it kind of hunts that 1 second where it kind of like focuses back focuses and focuses forward again. But all in all, pretty solid. This backlit scenario isn't causing too much trouble for the GR3. Different focus now. We're going to try the tracking AF with a backlit situation. All right, let's lock on this leaf. It's got it. Moving the camera around. It's pretty sticky. It's found the point and it's not letting go, so that's good. Oh, here you can see it moved just a bit, but it kind of finds the point again. Let's try this area here. Oh, there you go. A little bit of struggle there finding the focus. But once it gets the lock on, it's pretty good. All right, let's try continuous. There we go. Just half press that shutter. Okay, looking on the couch. Bring it to the front. Back to the couch. Back to the front. Oh, over that plant. Struggled just a bit. Not too bad. Back to the front plant. Second plant. Front plant. Plant in the back. Back to the front. Again, it's pretty solid. No real problems here. It does hunt maybe just a tad more, but I think it's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to show off the facial tracking, which is new to the GR3. It's got face detect. You can turn it on in the settings. Here you see my face. I'm moving back and forth, and that box is tracking me pretty well. This is just in the single point autofocus. It'll prioritize faces, so you can see the box locking onto my face. And when you're ready to take a shot, you just half press that shutter and take a shot. So it's single point AF, so you can still move the point around and it'll be okay. But automatically, if it detects a face, it'll go for the face first. Yeah, pretty good. Locks on pretty well. All right, we're gonna look at the tracking here for faces. So the tracking, there's no box. You don't get that face detect box. You'll have to lock on yourself, and here you see me locked onto my face. It's pretty good. It works just like the tracking does for objects. And there you go. With the shutter half press, it's just following me. Here with the AFC, we try that. AFC, there's no like continuous face tracking while you have that shutter half press. AFC works just like it does when you're trying to shoot an item. See here, if you go the auto AF mode, the full auto AF, it will have the tracking of the face. Here you go, hiding behind the camera, it loses the face tracking, but when I'm back here, it's tracking it fine. All right, and that's how the autofocus works with faces. Okay, now I'm just going to walk through a few of the menu settings for the Ricoh GR III in terms of the autofocus settings that I use. So here, the focus settings is the first menu option you get. Right there is the focus. You can select which one you want in the menu, but you can do that in the short menu, so I recommend doing the shortcuts. Your face detection, you want to turn that on. You can have the option to just use it only in auto area AF. That's like the full auto mode. I just have it turned on for everything. The AF assist light, it's good. Snap focusing, here you can choose the distance you want the snap focus to work on. Full press snap, I have it turned on. What that does is if you just throw the shutter down real quick, it just does the automatic snap focus to the distance you have set. Focus peaking, have that turned off. That's for manual focusing. Here, AFC setting, you see you can choose whether you want to prioritize focus tracking performance or frame per second rate. So me, I'm not going for high FPS, so I always choose focus priority. I think that's important. All right, guys, so that's a little bit of an overview of the Ricoh GR III's autofocus system. So just some final thoughts on the Ricoh GR III's autofocus. For me personally, I use this in single point autofocus the most. As you can see with the settings that I have on my camera, I just go single point autofocus 95% of the time. Maybe sometimes I'll use continuous autofocus if I'm gonna shoot something that's moving. I've never really used the tracking feature And yeah, I think the single point autofocus for the GR3 just makes sense because for me, I'm shooting street photography, or I'm shooting just like some snapshots of my friends, so some portraits. So the single point AF works really well. I just like to choose my own focus point on the screen. The touch screen actually helps a lot. Since there's no joystick on the Ricoh GR III, the touchscreen helps a lot. You just touch where you want it to focus, and then you can just shoot. It works really well. And yeah, and then like when I'm not using single point autofocus, I'd be using the snap focus. You know, if you're shooting street photography and you want to be sneaky and you kind of know your distances pretty well, then you can just have this set to a distance you want, wait for your subject to enter a frame, and then you can snap it real quick. Or you're walking and you're just walking to your subject or to what you want to shoot in that distance, and then you can just really quick just take the shot. Don't even worry about the autofocus. But yeah, let me know how you guys use your Ricoh GRs. Are you guys just using it in single point autofocus as well? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.